My Italian therapy is the place you want to be. My Italian therapy with Gina Fiori. My Italian therapy is the place you want to be. My Italian therapy with Gina Fiori. My Italian therapy is the place you want to be.
Well, hi, everybody. I'm Gina with My Italian Therapy, and welcome. We've got a lot of things to cover today, and at the end, we will walk through a beautiful Italian property in Abruzzo that's for sale. So join me at the end for that. In the meantime, I just wanted to do a little catch up. I wrote some questions down and some things that people have been asking me, and I just wanted to interject some information so we can kind of get um, to where we are right now. And I'm going to be headed to Italy here very soon. So y'all had a lot of questions. So I just wanted to get some questions answered. Um, the first one, am I going back to Italy? Well, yes, I am going back to Italy. And the reason that I came back from Italy from my initial visit was to come back to the States and sell my properties and downsize my belongings and all of that. And in the interim, I found out I had lung cancer. So I had surgery, and my son had moved here with me from Alaska. He came to stay with me in New York and help me out and get all these things accomplished. So we're kind of still going through some things. I'm helping him take care of some things, and I still have some personal things to take care of before I can go back. So I'll be headed to Italy soon. And people have asked me if I'm selling my Italian flat, and the answer is no. I'm going to fix it up and I'm going to rent it out. Um, I'm looking for another one on the coast so I can spend the winters there, rent out the little one I do have. So we'll be doing some renovation and decorating and searching and all kinds of fun things when I get there. It's going to be really fun. And then I will rent out that flat by the sea for the summer for 3 months. Let's see. When am I moving to Italy permanently? That's kind of a loaded question because I'm not sure. At present, I probably will go for the 3 months and then leave for 3 months and then go back for 3 months. I still have a lot of things to take care of here. I got sideswiped with this lung cancer and I had surgery. So I'm somewhat recovering. By the time I get ready to go, I will stay for a few months, and then I'm going to spend a couple weeks in a German clinic, a cancer clinic, to do some alternative cancer therapy. I've been there before, and it's a lovely place. It'll be really fun. So I want you to join me there at the end of my Italian stay, and we'll kind of traipse around Germany a little bit and explore Germany. On to the next question. Am I getting Italian residency? At this juncture, no. And I will go into that in more detail either later in this video or at another time when I'm kind of talking about residency. And then I would go into the details why I'm not doing that at this juncture. Part of it has to do with the taxes and the requirements that Italy wants us as retired people to present. And there's other options. I'm actually possibly looking at France, and then I will go back and forth, spend half the time in France, and then the amount of time I can spend in Italy, I'll be doing that. But I'm going to go into that in more detail at another time. And you guys were asking how I'm doing with my surgery. I'm doing really well. I spent 5 weeks in bed after my surgery. So it was a rough surgery. I didn't realize it was going to be. I had some complications that kind of set me back. I did physical therapy for about 5 weeks, and now I'm starting to come into my own. So I'm taking it really easy. Hence why there hasn't been a lot of material for you. I'm not really doing all that much. I'm spending my days in the library doing taxes, editing my book, taking care of a lot of business. I have property in Portugal I'm getting ready to sell. So there was a lot of paperwork and communication and phone calls and internet, a lot of emails and decisions to be made. There wasn't a lot of material for you. I don't have anything to share. So it's been that way, and that's why I've been kind of absent without having my regular stamina and creative, energy and creative passion about things right now. It's just really short, short on the ground. So bear with me. Um, oh, yes. And thank you for all of your support during my downtime. I know it's hard to kind of hang in there when people have tragedy, but I tried not to make my channel about my surgery, my diagnosis. It's just not who I am. I just move on, and it's there, but then I don't dwell on it. So I don't want to bore you with any more details about that. So we'll go on to the next thing. Um, I'm going to do some work on my Italian flat. And if you go back and you see when I went to Italy last year and I saw my flat for the first time, it was adorable. It was filthy and it needed some love. And so what I did is I tried to make it homey and, do what I needed to do when I first got there, which was clean and wash everything that was in there, see what I was keeping and see what I was getting rid of. So this time I'm going to go ahead and arrange to do repairs and take the plaster down and do some electrical and fix the baseboards and get a stove and an oven in the kitchen, figure out some things to do. I'm not doing a lot because it's going to be a rental. I just want it to be a safe rental, and for now it's where I'm going to be staying. Oh yes, I said I was looking to buy another flat in Italy, the French Residency, and I'm selling my Portugal land. The one thing I did want to talk about briefly is why I'm leaving the US, why I've been trying to leave the US for over 30 years. Um, when you do leave the country, which I did for like 28 years, I left for the winters. And a lot of people want to leave, and I understand that. This is something that I've been trying to do for over 30 years. I almost bought a flat in 2007 in Croatia, and I didn't because my son was 7 and he was having some, issues. So it was very challenging as a single mom to do that. So I didn't do that. And I've been trying to work towards, and I finally got to the point now where I can afford to do it because I have enough retirement to be able to afford to do it. And I want to be there, but it's not as simple as it appears. And those of you who have either tried to move overseas or are in the process of moving to another country or have already moved to another country know how challenging it is. And because I would spend winters for 3 to 6 months out of the US, out of my comfort zone, I know that I don't want to get rid of all of my belongings. I know I can replace almost everything. But when I was gone in the winter times, the thing that I missed the most was having my books, my records, my art, my little tiny things that I've collected over the years, which are many, and things that are family. So I'm going to take them with me, and I will tell you how in a minute. So now that I know that that's what's taking me so long, is trying to figure out how to get my belongings to where I need to go. And right now, the reason I'm hesitating and moving is because I'm not sure where I want to go. So that is part of the issue. And I have not downsized enough to get things together to give myself 10 or 15 tubbies to be able to bring, but where do I bring it? So here we go. So until I make this trip again and get myself grounded, and I'm still healing, and I need to figure out what it is I want to bring and where exactly I'm going to go. Is it France? Does Gina want to go to France and get French residency, which makes more sense for me, and then travel over to Italy and spend, some time in Italy in my other place when it's not rented? Is that what she wants to do, or does she want to go to Albania? So I noticed that there's a lot of people who have YouTube channels who move around. They're either, digital nomads, or they're couples that haven't decided where they want to be and they just go from place to place. And then there's couples who moved, like, say, to Portugal. I know a lot of people who are leaving Portugal. Me, for one, I was going to move to Portugal, and I've got my land for sale, which actually I will be sharing with you as soon as I put together a YouTube episode with my land, and I'm selling that. And I also have a Suzuki that's for sale. So it's not an easy thing for me. I have heard of people selling everything, giving everything away, giving it to their kids, giving it to their friends, packing suitcases and leaving, and they regret it. Some regret it and some don't, but a lot of people do regret it. I have friends that have moved and they left with not very much belongings and they miss their stuff. It's expensive to ship your items. So, you have to decide what your stuff is worth. I kind of have a plan as to how to do that, and I will share that with you in the future. I have a really fun plan instead of putting it on a plane, instead of shipping it. Anyway, I will talk about that at a later date. So, wherever you go, there you are, and you have to be comfortable within yourself to be able to go to a foreign country, not speak the language, not be around friends and family, not be in your home, and everything is foreign and not comfortable. So you're completely out of your comfort zone. If you haven't done it for 3 to 6 months and you haven't adapted, you're going to have at least 3, 6, 9 months, maybe a year of mourning the loss of leaving your country and what was comfortable and familiar to you. That's normal. Some people just don't get through that part and they don't like the feeling because they've never felt that before. So they leave. A lot of people go through kind of a melancholy stage of transition, and that's also normal. And then some have been doing it and traveling for so long that they know that they expect that. And they reach out. You have to socialize. You have to find your little group. You have to participate in the community. Enjoy where you're living, even if it's a rental. Look to buy. Find the place where you want to live. Spend some time exploring. Because part of this has a lot to do with retirement. A lot of people haven't retired yet. They just retired and then they go overseas and it's like a big slam in the head because everything all at once, and it's a lot. So you go through loss and mourning and transition. Um, that's all pretty normal and should be expected. A lot of people don't talk about it. It's not just paradise. It's not you're on holiday. It's real life. And after you get past all the excitement and traveling, you're in your space where you're living, and you going to the market. You need to find a routine for cooking, and where are you doing your laundry, and are you in a community that you want to stay for a long time, or are you still looking for a place to move and buy? What kind of life do you want? What are you expecting from this move, and why did you move in the first place? These are very important questions when you're leaving your country, and it is not an easy thing to do. That's why I'm sitting here talking to you from the US, because I haven't done it yet, because I'm not ready to jump into this. I've experienced winters. I know what to expect when I leave, and I'm not ready to pull that trigger yet. So the last part I wanted to talk about was somewhat retirement, and a lot of the things I've already covered. The lists and the phone calls and the international people that you need to surround yourself to make sure that you're getting the right information. I'm going to be interviewing a lot of these people very soon, lawyers and accountants and relocation specialists and my realtor and people that do this for a living in Italy that can help you. I know I get a lot of emails, people asking me questions, and I really can't help you with that information because for all of us, it's very personal, investments, income, our choice of residency process, where we're at in our life, how long time, and how long it's going to take when you're planning on leaving. All those details come into play. And that makes a difference on the information you're going to get, because things change all the time. That's another thing I'm having challenges with. Things change all the time. When I was moving to Portugal, I lost the NHR, which was a 10-year tax cap, which would have given a lot of us time to settle into our new life while we're spending a lot of money to get there. But they took that away, so then we just go into immediately tax on everything at a very high rate, which is fine. But it Portugal just did not work out for me, so I'm selling my land, my river land, and then I'm not going to get Italian residency at this time. It's not just the taxes, it's the passive income that you have to create. And if you don't have, like $40,000 of passive income, you have to create it. And it's expensive to create it, because you're talking about taking money out of your IRA before you need to and doing annuities, or having rentals or whatever. And then you're taxed on all that money. And I don't know about you, but as a single person who owns your properties, I don't need $40,000 to live. So I need maybe half of that, maybe a little bit more. So I don't want to be taxed on that much income that I create and lose interest on, because I would be moving to Italy. Because me personally, I'm not sure about you. I want you to tell me what your plans are, and why you're moving to Italy, and or where you're going, and what your plan is. Because my plan is to have some euro, have some rent money from my flats, so I don't have to transfer money with up and down currency rates. And also, I really wasn't planning on buying a flat and sitting in my flat 365 days a year in Italy. I was going to travel. So it doesn't matter where I get my visa and my residency. It doesn't matter for me. But there's a lot of people that want to put down roots, and they want to be in one place, and I don't. And I know that about myself. Until I can go ahead and stop, until somebody stops me from bouncing around, I love to travel. And I see that with a lot of the YouTube community. A lot of us are the type A personalities, right? And what we do is we go from one place to another, or we split our time between more than one place, because that's what we enjoy. That's how we got onto doing the YouTube channel, because we have content to share with you, and it's exciting. And we know there's other people who want to do the same thing, and we want to share that with you and encourage you and say, hey, I'm doing this. You can do it too. And here's a really cool place I want to share with you. So that's what we're going to be doing in the future. So just hang in there with me. It's going to take a little time for me to get on a routine again. Like I said, I don't have the amount of energy that I did before my surgery. And my son is now living with me at the moment, and I'm helping him get through a lot of things, a lot of challenges that he had. He moved down from Alaska, and we're getting him to kind of square one. And then he's going to establish himself here in Corning. And I'm going to leave ultimately, and maybe just come back for the summers. So I'm not doing the big move, but I am going to bring people to you who can help you and give you the proper information, the right information, instead of you going on Facebook and asking all these questions, because there's a lot of people who will give you information and it's not the right information. So let's get you that information, and let's help you move. In the meantime, I will be in Italy as much as I possibly can. And who knows, my plans change all the time. So this is just for now, and it's just for today on a February morning. And don't go, because we're going to go through this amazing house in Abruzzo. So join me. Hi, everybody. Before we do the walkthrough of this stunning apartment, would you please like, subscribe, and share this so we can build our channel? Now let's get started and walk through this amazing property. It's just 2 hours from Rome and 40 minutes from Pescara, the sea, and the airport. Look at this stunning building. It's so clean, and taken care of, and that's really important. Look at the paint and the details, and it's really maintained well, and that's very important when you're looking to buy a place, that it's maintained. I don't know if there is a monthly service fee. That is something you'd have to ask Paola at Mayella Casa. This is their listing, and it's in the historic center of Popoli Terme. This entryway is gorgeous. Look at the wrought iron railing. It's on the second floor, which is the top floor. And there is no elevator. So you've got this stunning entryway. Maybe not. It needs a little work outside. Well, there's a balcony. I can see that. And this is the living room, dining room area, which looks quite large. That's a huge piece of furniture in there. Two double doors, two balconies. You've got single pane original windows. I can see that. The kitchen is amazing. Look at that. One thing I don't know is sometimes in Italy they take the kitchens when they sell the property, so that would be something you'd have to inquire about. Look at that gorgeous built-in for your dishes and so on. There's plenty of cupboard space. Very large kitchen. Beautiful doors. All wood, solid, original doors. The ceilings look great. I don't see any watermarks. High ceilings. There's a little room there that has a washing machine. Again, goes out to the balcony, which is fantastic. Hot water heater. And look at that view. Unobstructed, gorgeous view. And there's the church, so you'll be able to hear the church bells ringing. Italy, love it. There's a storage room back behind that closet. And again, look at that glass cupboard. Built in. Here's the bedroom. It is a one bedroom. It has double doors to the bedroom. That's a huge armadio, armoire for your clothes. And then there's another balcony, so you can open that and get your airflow. Look at those gorgeous floors and those views. Still, again, I don't see any water spots. There's your church. And there's parking right outside the door. This is just a charming apartment. Look at that bathroom with that fabulous shower. It's 710 square feet. The population of Popoli is about 4,500 people. And look how lovely that town is. You can see that from the window. Charming, charming. If you're interested in this apartment and you want more information, the links are below. Get a hold of Paola and do some inquiry. Thanks for joining me. There'll be more to come. See you soon.